Former LSU, Texas State, Western Kentucky, and now Tulane quarterback TJ Finley was arrested and then released on charges of having a truck that was worth more than $25,000. Let's talk about what that means and what we can glean, if anything, from this latest incident with another college football player being arrested. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If you're new to the #1 college football show, we talk college football year round. If you're into that, subscribe to the channel. You can tell, man, my mood is just down on this one, dog. Like, all right, so the charge in Louisiana be doing stuff different. So let me make sure I get the charge right because kind of fumbled at start. The charge is illegally possessing a stolen vehicle valued at more than $25,000 for one Tyler Jamal Finley. He was booked and released earlier today. Tell me in the comments what you think, if anything, there is to be gleaned from what we know. But essentially, the way that this is drawn out in the police report is University Police at Tulane, yeah, they got that, responding to a vehicle, a truck that was blocking the driveway. And upon finding out that it was his truck, TJ Finley went out there to go move the truck and said to the officers that he had recently bought the truck. Don't know if he said that before or after they asked him about the truck, but he did apparently tell them that he had just bought the truck. So they run the license plate on the truck because a couple of things probably come to mind here, and I'm just filling in some blanks here because there's a whole bunch of alleged going on in here. So the way that this is working in my brain, TJ Finley had a new license plate on a new truck. For those of y'all that have bought new vehicles, you know that the license plate ain't necessarily the next thing you go do. Usually what you get is called a temp tag. You know, it's a piece of paper. Sometimes you mount it in the back of the car. Sometimes you mount it where the license plate's supposed to go. Point is, it ain't the 10-10 bang bang that usually comes with the clang clang that is the license plate. Because, you know, we used to use the folks online, and I do mean the chain gang line, not online like throwing up them hooks. Online to make them license plates, okay? So police officers, you know, having one or two traffic incidents in their resume probably, you know, is part of the deal, might go, it's kind of odd. Have a brand new license plate on a truck you just bought. But, you know, whatever. We'll just run the plates, right? Damn. Run the plates. Find out the license plate on the back of the truck ain't the license plate that's licensed to the license plate. Or excuse me, ain't the truck that's licensed to the license plate. It's another license plate for another vehicle, not the truck. So what they do what the police do. They run the mug through one of them databases, and what it come back with? A different vehicle. This one is reported stolen in Atlanta. Fam, TJ in New Orleans, okay? Now, predictably, Tulane has indefinitely suspended TJ Finley. John Summerall didn't offer much more aside from the statement that was, hey, he's going to be suspended for the duration. We'll see how long that suspension lasts based on what the investigation by the police department in New Orleans finds out. He was, however, saying, look, you do something wrong, you got to face legal responsibility for it, yada, yada. We understand that. But for a dude whose journey began at LSU, who we were thinking might have been, you know, a guy that could absolutely turn it up at LSU, being big, fast, strong, all those things. Didn't go his way, goes to Texas State, ends up going to Western Kentucky, ends up back to Auburn in there too. Then Western Kentucky. Then we're back to Tulane. So it has gone from what I thought was a really damn good year playing for G.J. Kinney at Texas State, where he went for 3,400 yards, 24 touchdowns in a season, to being a dude that feels like he was chasing a check, which is fine, right? If college football is your job, get your money, dog. Get your bread, especially if you are a quarterback the caliber of TJ Finley's, which is good enough to start at almost every major university, mid-major university, but probably not make a long living in the NFL, right? Kind of dude that might end up in the UFL in a couple of years, but at least he would have, you know, few million, you think, given the value we place on quarterbacks to go play. Not to mention, Tulane lost their starting quarterback in Darren Mensah to Duke, who got paid $8 million for for the next 2 years to play quarterback at Duke. Meanwhile, I wonder, with these name, image, and likeness contracts getting more scrutiny and the predatory nature for which these contracts are being drawn up, what kind of rider clauses are in there for things like, bringing disrepute upon the program with arrest. How much money do you think they owe? What are they going to pay you? And as it's continuing to be a space where people get paid or they don't get paid on time or they don't get paid on time, I don't understand playing with your money like this. Like, I hope that there is way more to this story than is in the police report, which is, by the way, usually true, right? And this just comes from having followed enough court cases and done enough reporting in courthouses and at police reports. Look, it's what the police officer believes is happening. You investigate that a little bit further, you find out a few more details. Maybe those things rise to the level of reasonable doubt. Maybe they don't. But as it looks like on the police report, this is dude bought a hot truck, then try to pass it off as a, truck that he bought above the table. That's what it feels like. I do not always understand why my black brothers, in particular, feel like they got to do this, man. It's difficult. Like I was talking about Jonte Cook earlier this year, talking about Kyron Lacey earlier this year, and that's why the mood started off like the mood started off. I want us to take care of us. I really do, because I somehow am missing some of the links that have led to some of the decision making that has happened in this case by a 23-year-old, right? So very much an adult and then some, by men who have children in many cases, men who got mouths to feed, right? Some lady that they are trying to look after, or who, God help him, trying to look after him. You know what I mean? And I don't mean just your mama. So while we be doing the thing where we be, getting on Jaden Daniels' mama's case for sitting down in between her and Juju Watkins, you might be like, hey, mama, go join a book club or something. She a millionaire too. She can hold her own. But that ain't, maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe it is having a parent that hovers like Jaden Daniels' mama seems to hover, even as that dude just had the best rookie quarterback season anybody's ever had. Even as Deion Sanders continues to hover while his boys go through it, right? Shiloh dealing with something way different than what Shedeur dealing with or Travis dealing with, but they all dealing with something. I am really at a loss with this one because it feels like you just needed someone that you trust to tell you what's good and what's up, and to feel as if you can always get got. Like, the thing that I get accused of most by friends and family is I expect the world to operate with a level of common sense, and I'm always kind of shocked when it doesn't. I expect people to treat me with a level of respect and as if I'm smart, and frankly, I treat everybody as if they are at least as smart as I am. Even as people keep telling me, RJ, you got to stop doing that. The reading that you are doing and the stuff to be going on in your brain ain't necessarily what's going on in other people's brains. I understand that. I get it. I do. I am going to give you the benefit of the doubt, though. Like, until you prove to me that you were an absolute idiot, I'm not going to believe you're an absolute idiot. I'm going to let you do that. I've talked about this before, but, it's like I learned this from my mama. You let people set their own watermark. And usually what people will give you out the gate is their best, first impression. So if I get to see your best, I expect to see your best as the water level. That's the moment. Like, that's what we're working with. You will always rise to this level. So I read a story like this one, and it gets the traction that it does. So I'm here talking about it because it gets the traction that it does. It rises to like number 3 in the On3 news report, and it's on ESPN, and it's all over New Orleans news. And the way in which we're talking about this is an alarming charge. And I'm going, hey, did my man commit a violent crime? No, he committed a crime. That's what it looks like. He's charged with a crime. Charged with a crime. Let's not say committed. Charged with a crime. I'm back to where I always am with this, man. I want more done to look after them. But then again, they're adults, and you can't coddle them. Like, I am the dude that stands on the table and says, if you can ask an 18-year-old man, woman in this country to go defend this country from enemies, foreign and domestic, you can damn sure pay them $1 million to play football. Okay. You can't tell them how to spend that money. You can't tell them how to make better. You can tell them how to make decisions, but they ain't got to do it. The whole, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's treating the horse as if it's stupid. In my experience, horses ain't stupid. They ornery as hell, and I hate them. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like you ain't got my history with horses. Okay? I've been around too many horses. Biting and snatching as ornery as some guns you ever want to meet, but they not stupid. You know what I mean? They not. They're too smart for their own good in many cases. So you gonna keep them the mess from around me. I don't do horses. The only horses that I like are motorcycles. You dig? Okay. A horse, no. Horse is over there somewhere. You ride the horse, I'm gonna be on the 4-wheeler. I'm gonna be in the ATV. That's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go on the prowler. I'm gonna be in a tractor. I'm going to be in something with a steering wheel or handlebars. I ain't getting around no damn horse with no reins no more. Done enough of that. And don't act like I can't saddle it. Don't act like I can't ride it. I can. I don't want to. I don't want to any more than I want to saddle and ride an elephant. That ain't fun neither. Some of y'all want to think that's fun. Y'all be out there with Aladdin and stuff. That ain't how that goes. How that goes is Mr. Elephant decides he don't like you no more, and that's all she wrote. Okay. Hope this goes well for TJ. I hope this ends up going, hey, you know what? Some mistake was made somewhere, but everything's fine. Given the police report, it does not feel like it's going to go that way. And while Tulane thought it had its quarterback of the future, that does not seem to be so presently.